What's going on, guys? Hey, how are you? Repeat back with you. And yes, it is Monday night. A little bit different, little change of pace. But whoever said not all change is bad. Some change can be a little good. And tonight, buddy, we got some great racing right from the Irish Hills of Michigan. The OUTKAST Racing League. I think it's like my first, maybe not, I think it's my second broadcast for these guys. Looking forward to it. It's their all-star race. Live with me in the booth, going to be none other than Expert Racing. That's right, the owner of a brand new podcast that just kicked off. You've heard me mention him a couple times. Expert OUTKAST, live from Michigan. Their all-star race, just shy of 15 guys. We're about to kick this off, buddy. How are ya?
To the race real quick as well while we're waiting here as we get loaded in, but definitely exciting. These guys are looking to go around Michigan. It's going to be a very fast race, a very fun race. These guys are going all out for $30 here tonight, so expect a lot of wild moves and a lot of fun racing.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Michigan has probably been one of my favorite tracks for a very, very long time. Going back years and years and years, all through the EA days, and ever since then, it's going to be one hell of a race. They're running the normal draft package. Let's go ahead and actually, we're gonna go ahead and load on in to the race right now. As you see, the beautiful Fanatec equipment that all the Pro League drivers got as part of Pro League Season 2. Usually Lucky Dog's right along with me on Tuesday nights, and he will be tomorrow night when those NNR truck guys hit to try to kiss the bricks. But we're going to go through this field. None other than It's Dark Spartan driving that 3-car. He's going to be on pole. 14 of ORL J-Rock to the outside. 48 of E-Lock driver. The 6 of Backwood OUTKAST. That's the number 2 here in OUTKAST Racing. Then we got the 18, I think that is, of Mac Snipes. ORL Gommel 247. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Going to be the 5-car of A.O. Fenris. We'll actually be riding along with him for lap count and fuel and all that. Who knows? Things might get mixed up just a little bit. ORL elevated in that 21. Then we got the 29 of Silent Kings with the 88 of Jolly 625 to his outside. The Double Deuce, Old Dodge Dakota. I remember that gamer tag very, very clearly. Good to see him on track tonight. Then we got the 16 of NNR Trip. No surprise there in rocking that Exalta machine. Then we got the 98 of Send It Rich. Man, we are back up front with It's Dark Spartan rocking the 3-car. I don't know if this is also for our buddy Vols that just checked in all the way from South Korea, which glad to know that he'll be back stateside for at least a couple weeks to take care of some very, very important family matters. It might be fitting that this 3-car is back on the pole, that 3's gone to victory lane in the NNR Cup Series. Could Spartan make this 2 for 2? We'll have to see, but here we go, Expert. Green flags in the air, 3 cars in the lead. Got that Allied machine right behind him. Here we go, sir.
Definitely, and you can see these guys fanning out as we head through turns 1 and 2. Everybody looking for every bit of momentum to try to gain position already in this opening lap. And these guys going down the back stretch, 2x2 in Dark, just leading the way so far as now we head in turns 3 and 4 as Dark looks to try to lead the first lap of tonight's All-Star event.
Yeah, Dark's going to try to lead. 48, that was just all up his backside, now falling back just a little bit. And now they are 3 wide, crossing the start stripe. That's what, 2 laps in the books. These guys are running 50% race, 2 times wear, 2 times fuel, all for, as you said, a purse of $30. So somebody's going to walk away here with just a little extra coin in their pocket. Just that's enough for a little bit of, maybe an extra DLC or maybe something that they've had their eye on in the store for a while. See Commando Griff out there in chat. Of course, Rock NASCAR. I mentioned TN Vols. Elevated's there saying watch the 21. Silent King saying watch the 29. So Backwood Outcast, they've got a fan base of their own, and they are in for one hell of a treat tonight.
Definitely, and looking at one driver who has made his way up a good few positions so far is that Double Deuce of Dodge Dakota. He's already working his way up here. He's about to join this crazy battle as these guys try to battle it out in the top 5. And oh, right as I say that, commentator curse strikes as he gets sent down to the bottom of the track, but he's able to fit. And right now sitting in 6th, he's got to gather it back up and try to catch those top 5 sitting there in front of him battling it out.
Yeah, but you know what? They're 3 wide right now for P number 3. First and second kind of nose to tail. Unless these guys get single file, especially at a place like Michigan on the normal draft, they could pull away. Just as I say that, the back half of the field, all now single file, swooping on up towards the outside wall, bringing it on back down, get a great entry into 1 and 2. A little bit of contact there, but not too bad. We're still keeping it green. Now the second, third, and fourth are all 3 wide. First and second, double wide. Here we go. Battle up front. It's heating up.
Definitely in contact in 3 and 4 right there between that 9 and I believe, not sure, the 18 actually. Between the 9 and the 18, and the 22 is going to try to make it 3 wide there for a second. As these guys all battle it out, the position battles are getting crazy. And right now you can see that top 3 trying to pull away a little bit, but these guys behind them learning, hey, we can't battle right now if we want to catch these guys. Like you mentioned before, they're getting single file to try to get back up there and try to re-spark that battle we saw just a few seconds ago.
Yeah, it's Stark Spartan that has led the first few laps, now sitting back in P2, right behind this patriotic Barstool Sports 14, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be the sponsor on that. If I'm not mistaken, it is. I could be wrong, but here comes that Napa 5. He's going to go ahead and give that 14 a big old boost, and the 6 going to rack up behind the number 3, side by side for the lead, 3rd place, and then side by side for 4th. Papa Bear, how you doing, sir?
He's out there cheering for his NNR guys of Dodge Dakota and NNR Trip right there. As you can see, these guys still battling it out. The 14 able to get that momentum off the high side down the back straightaway. But right now, like we mentioned before, Dodge Dakota now nosing his way into the top 3, now going after P2. And he may try to put his name in for the lead as he gets right under the 14 here, diving into turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, Dodge Dakota right up in that double deuce, got a big old push from the 9 of Backwood Outcast. That 22 is very, very strong. Had a little bit of contact behind. Backwood Outcast got clipped and he clipped somebody else. I don't know. Yep, we're seeing more and more cars around, and this could be our first caution. I didn't get the way that the caution model was going to be running tonight, and nope, as we say that,
it looks
caution
like
is out. Yep.
I mean, sorry, automatic.
Yep, auto, yep, you got that right. So definitely hope everybody out there in chat's doing well. This is the Outcast Racing League's All-Star Race, Michigan International Speedway, Irish Hills. Very, very fast, high bank, high draft, high fun race. It's gonna be I'm excited about this. We were talking about the race before it got kicked off, and I actually lost track of time. I wasn't. They say, oh, by the way, we got like 2 minutes to go. Well, whoa, what? kind of lost it. And man, this is their first chance to go on down pit road, get racked and stacked, do whatever they got to do with their tire pressures, their wedge, maybe a change in tape. Next time Fenris comes across the start stripe, we'll see exactly what we've got left here in stage number 1. And count them down. Keep on going. Looks like 18 laps in stage 1. Hammers back down. Expert, call us.
And here we go. These guys still getting side by side. It was crazy enough in that first initial run. And these guys, after a little bit of experimenting in that initial run, and here, after a few adjustments or the chance to make those adjustments, expect these guys to try to see what these cars do now. And right now, you can see these guys pushing each other into the corner. The 14 still able to hold on to the lead, but these guys are not giving up. The 5 and the double deuce side by side there for second and third respectively. And it looks like that inside lane's getting more of a push. That 5's going to try to get up here and challenge for the lead. The 14 goes to block. The 5 tries to move to the high side. It kind of gets them a little wobbly. 3 wide towards the back of this battle here. But this battle is just heating up as these guys near 4 wide here on the exit of turn 2 going down the back straightaway.
Yeah, they are 3 by 3 almost in the back. So far, we've had 4 different people lead this race. The 3 of It Stark Spartan, the Double Deuce, the 14. 5 wants to get up there and be the 5th different leader. But I tell you what, when it's all said and done, the leader at the end of it is really going to be the person to be where it matters. As they're now single file up on that outside line, crossing that start stripe one more time. One more lap in the books. These guys have run just about half of their season already. They're all very familiar with how each other runs. It's gonna be interesting to see if they're able to handle the high speed and the high draft for another, I figure we got about another 100 laps before we call this one official and someone gets to claim to be the all-star of OUTKAST Racing.
Definitely, and one thing to notice about this track, this is a very interesting track. We talked about it, how it was one of your favorites. Well, it's one of mine as well. I love these high draft tracks, these wide tracks where you can make a lot of different moves. This track, I compare it a lot to a restrictor plate, but with tougher corners. You got to learn how to control these speeds going into 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. The battles can get really heated up, and your exit off these corners matter a lot as well. If you don't get a good exit, more than likely you're going to get run over. So these guys have a lot to think about when it comes to how to tackle this track. It's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work, and these drivers might be exhausted by the end of tonight's race.
Absolutely. Depending on which preset they chose, they might have an issue of being a little loose, a little tight, having to either freeing it up or tighten it up. Whoever's going to be able to find that great neutral balance, who might have, who's going to have the car for the long run at the end, which I would imagine these guys would have a pretty good long green flag run when it comes down, when it comes to it. They could absolutely be very tired. Might have to either crank a little extra into that wheel, or there's so many different ways it can go, because there's so many different options on a slider, so many different options to choose from when you're talking about your wedge and your tire pressures and all that. I'm sure that right now there's 13 to 15 cars out there. I can almost guarantee that just about everybody out there has a different pressure, different tape, different wedge. And, well, with only 9 different options on the preset slider, as you watch the out9 of Backwood OUTKAST. There we go. I'll get his name right one of these days. Goes and does a couple 360s through the apron on the backstretch. So far, no caution, keeping it green. Not a whole 100% green. But, man, that was one hell of a save. He didn't hit anything, didn't hit that outside wall. As you can see, the front end of this car completely intact. That could be huge as the race goes on.
And right now, I think a manual caution has officially came out. These guys have slowed up towards the front of the field, so they may have thrown a manual caution now, and it looks like that is the case for these guys after that wreck. But like you mentioned, though, a great save by him. He got so close to that. That reminded me, I think it was, I'm not sure, you're probably going to have to hit me with the track, but that Jimmy Johnson save during qualifying, that looked a lot like that. 360s to try to keep it off the wall. That was very, very impressive by Backwood right there.
I'm not exactly sure which race you're talking about, but throughout Jimmy Johnson's career, he has made a bunch of saves. Actually, there is a guy that used to race in NNR, but will be again here once they kick off their iRacing series on February the 5th. That is part of a meme. If you go to Jimmy Johnson's save, I believe it was at Atlanta. There's a guy in the stands that's got a few other people around him, and it actually ended up being a meme that stuck, so that's pretty cool. But guys and gals, we're going to take a quick little 30-second break, grab a quick drink of something cold. We will be right back. All right, got a 30-second stage break, or a 30-second break going while these guys get in.
Alrighty.
Yeah. For all those out there that are still watching, definitely appreciate you. Absolutely. You're going to see a poll either from Tuesday through Thursday for what kind of gift cards y'all want next. Because you subscribe, I definitely appreciate you. First dibs there. But all right, we are back. Back with OUTKAST out there in chat. He should be driving. He says, damn, it's hot in this car. And Commando Griff recognized what you were referring to, expert, and he said it was Dover qualifying for that JJ save. So there you go.
About to say, I recognized it before. I just couldn't nail what track it was. It was slipping my mind.
And you know what? That would make sense for Jimmy Johnson to be able to save it at Dover. Dover, they say, is a self-cleaning track. Not too many people get a chance to save it, because if you go up and you tag that outside wall, it almost always, with that 30 to 33 degree banking in those corners, it almost always sends you on down to the inside wall. Even the straightaways around that place are banked, so it's not surprising. But yeah, JJ's made a lot of great saves in his life. I recall all the way back to his rookie year, where he was able to save it at Auto Club. Wasn't always so fortunate, but man, he definitely knew how to protect that 48. We are getting closer and closer to coming to that restart zone. Looks like 22 is going to be the control car. He is going hammer down. We are back green in Michigan.
Definitely, and it looked like that 14 did not get the start he wanted to on that outside line. As it gets stacked up, these guys are looking to fan out, probably try to get to the bottom as fast as they can, as that has been proven to be that dominant line. As we see these guys see how well they're going to run on the high line here on the exit. That's going to be the hope for a lot of these guys that get trapped on the outside, to see if they can get some of that high line momentum and carry that in the 3 and 4 to try to see if they can get to the bottom or gain the run off of turn number 4. As right now you can see these guys getting pretty rowdy up here, as we are near 3 wide for the lead right now. The 5, 16, and 22, all 3 wide as they cross the stripe.
Yeah, it's going to be our 5th different person to lead the field. The 16 is going to be that of NNR Trip. A.O. Fenris was the 5 on the high side of that 3 wide. Right behind him, I believe it's going to be the 8. So now we got all single file. We got the 16 of Trippy. We're riding along right now with the 5 of A.O. Fenris. 16 is going to block that line. It's actually going to be the 48, not just the 8. Now down low. Behind him, now 3 wide. 5 can't seem to stay out of these 3 wide competitions. It's going to be the 14 in the middle, double deuce on the bottom, and now they're almost 4 wide coming down the front stretch.
Definitely, and it's getting crazy, and right now, not sure what happened. We may have another manual caution. There could have been a wreck in the back. Looking at the back, guys, it looks like the 9 of Dark Spartan has some damage. Or sorry, excuse me, the 3 of Dark Spartan. The 98 Ascendant Rich has some damage. And going on back, I believe there's one more car back there as well. Yes, it looks like the 21 of ORL Elevated. So 3 cars with some damage, and that's going to pull out another caution. But it shows how wild this track can be. These guys making 3, 4 wide moves, and some of these guys ended up wrong place, wrong time, and just is getting pretty much manhandled by this track called Michigan. I mean, Michigan has been known for its crazy wrecks. We've seen that plenty of times throughout the years, and even in our times in league racing and league commentating, it has served witness to a lot of wrecks that victims have fell to and drivers have fell to. So definitely not a track to take lightly if you're one of these drivers who are trying to race their way through the field and getting in these 3 and 4 wide incidents.
Now I gotta ask you, expert, a little bit of a differing strategy. They've got about 6 laps left. The 16 of Trippy decided he was going to go ahead and stay out. The 48 right with him. So it looks like half the cars, the back half mostly, maybe a couple sprinkled within the first top 5, decided to go on out and go on down, grab 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods, probably not take any fuel because they won't need it with that caution that came out about 5 or 7 laps or so, give or take. But the 16, the 48, and a couple of these other guys, do you think that they are now sitting ducks, or do you think the guys that are going to be coming out on new tires won't have the time to go ahead and try to make a run for the front, as we say a big ol' hello to Bama? We both talked about Vols on one stream or another. He's definitely broadcasted with me a few times. One of our service members over in South Korea that just does an amazing job in the booth and also for our great country. Bama, always great to see you. Definitely hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming out one more time. Absolutely appreciate you.
Definitely. Thank you, Mama Vols. But to answer your question, like you mentioned before, it's a coin flip for these guys depending on how quick they can make it through the field. Of course, with maybe starting with 5 laps to go right here, they have enough time to make their way to the front. So it's going to be interesting to see, especially at a high draft place like this, having that little bit of extra grip to send it through different spaces and different holes and try to fit your nose in there. Those tires could definitely help. And let's see here as we get restarted here with 5 to go here at Michigan here in stage 1. So 5 to go here in stage 1 for the All-Star race, and these guys are already kicking it into high gears. And then our Trip gets a huge lead, a great restart by him. And you can see those guys already making moves in the back. Now they have a long way to go and a short time to get there. But let's see if they can get it done.
That's a great old country song. Long way to go and short time to get there. Anybody out there ever seen the movie Smokey and the Bandit? You know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, at 16 a Trip, he got up and got through the gears there pretty quick. Able to lead this train around, still has that 48 that he relied on for that big old push to the lead. Behind them as they come across the start stripe since the first time they went back green, they are 3 wide, about mid-pack. Double wide in front of him. 16, though, still has the entire field right where he wants them in his rear view.
And one thing, I'm keeping tabs on the driver on the freshest tires that's in the highest position. The 22 of Dodge Dakota, he made that high side work, was able to gain time right here. He's sitting currently in 7th. He's now splitting them 3 wide back there, trying to move into the 5th position. He has moved up here quick, and he's looking to try to make moves as they go side by side for the lead. You can see him probably in the rearview mirror of these guys. He's 3rd on that outside line, trying to find a way to make it 3 wide, it looks like, or just try to push this line ahead. But he is making moves, and he is imposing his will as he tries to get up through the lead. They are 4 wide right now for 3rd.
Yeah, 4 wide, almost 5 wide for 3rd right there. A little bit of contact between the 5, the 4. The 4 hit the wall. That's going to take out the 22. That just took out the entire back half of this field. So one more caution, and it doesn't look like yet the game cautions come out. I would imagine if it did, that would probably be the end of the stage. Right about now, Dark Spartan or Backwood Outcast, they've got to be telling their guys, hey, calm down. It's only stage number 1. There's no money on the line for the stage wins. No points on the line. It's all about everything a little bit later on. Pop Bear, thank you very much for those 100 bits. Absolutely appreciate it. And oh, by the way, Pop Bear, you got a couple diecast or a car plus some coming in the mail. Thank you very, very much, sir.
Right now, like you mentioned, they're probably telling them to calm down. If I'm a driver right here, probably what these guys were trying to do, and this is the mindset I'm thinking about right here, they're trying to figure out what moves are possible later on in the race. These guys are taking stage 1 as an experiment to try to see, hey, in stage 3, what can I do? I expect these guys to play more conservative in stage 2 possibly to see how conservative can I be to try to turn this around and see what works better, being aggressive or being conservative, especially when it comes to strategies. We saw varying strategies so far, so right now it's just a game of chess for these guys to see what moves will work as we come down the stretch and they set themselves up for stage number 3.
Well, I'll tell you what, right now, Trippy is making pretty quick work of the 18. 18 gives him 16, just a little bit of a shot to the door. Right now, the 14, he's got that Ford Mustang in the wind. Trippy and his Camaro right behind him. Trippy's got to try to make sure he can keep that line painted, because if he opens up that line, that allows somebody else to try to get underneath him. The bottom line when coming to the stage break and the end of the race has given the win to many people. So right now the 14 trying to keep that thing pinned down as much as possible, riding on board right now with J-Rock as he comes across the line. I believe it's going to be, nope, that's the end of the stage break. So again, no points tonight. Tonight is all about pride. J-Rock, he's going to go ahead and take stage number 1. Stage number 2 is yet to come.
Definitely, and I don't believe there's any guys one lap down, so these guys are going to, I expect every single one of them to go down pit road, 4 tires filled up with fuel, and if you have damage, you're looking to repair it. This is going to be a point for these guys to try to set their cars up maybe a different way. If these guys are we're banking on a long run car, we've seen how many short runs we've had so far when we've gone about 10 laps or so, or around that length and had a caution. So expect these guys to try to maybe see if, hey, we're having these short runs, set it up for the short run and see what type of adjustments these guys make it right now at stage 2. Like you mentioned before, no points on the line. You can't win anything here in stage 2 besides the pride we're in the stage. So these guys are going to be experimenting a lot here as we go into stage number 2.
Yeah, as Fenrose comes across the line, he actually just checked into the chat saying that was fun. It's always fun whenever you win a stage and you've got your car in the right place at the right time. But the right time is always the end of the race for one of these all-star races. That's really where the pride comes in. 27 laps to go here in stage number 2. 16 a trip, and the 3, they're going to go ahead and bring it all the way through 1 and 2. Now going down the backstretch, sharing that lead side by side.
Definitely, and you mentioned the 16 couldn't open the door. Where he did it right there, and he's trying to battle back on the outside. Got one heck of a push from the 14 heading into turns 3 and 4, but the 3 is going to battle back to the inside here. Going down the front straightaway, still side by side. Dark Spartan all the way to the apron. The 16 all the way up top. They're going to meet at the line. The 3 was able to lead it, but they're battling side by side going here into turns 1 and 2. The 14 still assisting the 16 as we go into the corner. 3's going to slide up, see if he can pull a slide job here off the exit. He's going to be able to clear him. Let's see what the 16 can do. He tries to cross him over. He's going to get back to the outside, side by side, as here comes the 9 looking to try to push the 3 here. And it's going to be a huge battle up here for the lead. Everybody trying to push and find every inch of room they can here, as the 3 is going to be able to clear now for the lead. 9 and 16 side by side for second.
Yeah, not quite sure what just happened with the double deuce, but he ended up making a little bit of contact with that outside wall. But for those first couple laps, they ran side by side. Some people, I believe it might have been the 4 car, also tried to shoot that gap and bring it on up the middle. We're going to back them down one more time as part of a manual caution. I'm guessing not only did the 22 go around, but somebody else in the back did as well. So we're gonna rack them and stack them one more time on this 2 mile this 2 mile track, fast track. Man, these guys have been putting on one hell of a show. You would think at times with all the different cars that have been up front, whether they're the leader, they're the pusher, they're those behind wanting to try to take this 3, 4, and one time almost 5 wide, you'd think there's like 20 to 25 cars out here.
Definitely, these guys have been battling so much for position, but that proves how vital it is at a track like this. We've seen guys go from first to last like that. So these guys trying to battle and get around and try to hold positions. It's becoming really aggressive for these drivers. They know how important this is. We've seen Dodge Dakota, who is up here battling for the lead. He dropped all the way to the back because of an incident, and he hasn't been able to make his way back up front because of how aggressive these guys have been battling. So it shows you how important this track position is for each and every one of these drivers, that these guys have to be aggressive just to be able to hold it. We've seen these guys, like you mentioned, go 2, 3, 4, almost 5 wide. And it's going to get even more wild, especially when we approach the end of this race in stage 3, still currently in stage 2.
I tell you what, about 3 or 4 of these guys decided they were going to go ahead and stay out, and I guess I misspoke earlier. I said that I mentioned that the 14 of AO Fenris won stage 2. Fenris is actually in the 5, so he didn't win stage 1, but he was up front, close, and pushing cars to the lead. No wonder why it was fast. He's going to be the leader with the 60. I believe that's going to be the 68. To his, 86 rather, that Kelly Blue Book machine, 88 rather, to his outside. We're coming through 3 and 4. There were only 3 or 4 guys that stayed out. Everybody behind them coming on with fresh rubber, fresh fuel, or a full tank of fuel rather. All these guys can go the full distance if they stay green. If not, we might see, maybe we'll see some more. 4 tire changes, 2 tire changes, who knows? But here we go, one more time. We're all stacked back up again in the restart zone. That Napa 5's taking them green.
Definitely, and here we go. And it's been the one lane that's always been dominant, that inside lane. The 48 tries to pull to the outside to get a better arc into turns 1 and 2 here. And right now he gets on the apron a little bit. It's going to stack up that inside line off the exit. And expect these guys to fan out down the back straightaway, looking for every bit of position here. As right now you can see these top 3 attempt to pull away as the rest of the field tries to battle it out here. The 5 of AO Fenris, he's going to come out of 3 and 4. It might be side by side though. The 48's got to run. Let's see where he goes with it. He's going to go to the inside. Side by side here down the front straightaway. Let's see who leads the lap. 3 wide now as they cross the stripe. Fenris barely able to lead that lap, but we are 3 wide for the lead between Dark Spartan, Fenris, and that 48 ally scheme as well. And right now, Dark Spartan with a power move on the outside. He's going to take the lead here going down the back straightaway.
Absolutely move that 3 of Dark Spartan back to the front, able to stay in the gas on those new tires. Move the 46 to his outside, 14 of ORL J-Rock. He got a huge pull as they were 3 wide. It almost looked like they were standing still with the amount of real estate that he made up. Now move that 14 up to P number 2, looking to the inside of the 3. No competition whatsoever. J-Rock going for the lead in the 1 and 2.
And there we go. They are 4 wide in the back here for looks about 7th place. They are 4 wide going down the whole front straightaway, as the 9 of Backwood was able to gain the most success out of that, as right now he's battling up here, trying to make his name known here in the top 5 as he moves under the 5 of Fenris and now is looking to attack that number 48.
I tell you what, that's a beautiful number 9 car. It's kind of reminiscent, a little bit of an Earnhardt, a little bit of a Kevin Harvick kind of thing. Just that silver and black with the red stripes really, kind of makes it pop just a little bit. So a lot of these guys are running a little bit different of a scheme. They're all allowed, a custom scheme for tonight's race. Some of these guys got pretty creative, actually liking a lot of these colors.
Definitely, these guys showing off not only their driving skills, but like you said, their creative skills. As multiple bumps between the 9 and the 48. Don't know what that's about, but the 9 having a lot of trouble here throughout the back, and we have a bunch of cars around, most of them keeping it straight. The 5 of Fenris and a bunch of other guys, as not sure if we are still, it looks like we have pulled out a caution, but these guys were bouncing off of each other. A lot of bumper hook, it looked like, heading through 3 and 4 and coming onto the front straightaway. Right now, a car I have to shout out. I don't know if it's me just seeing something I am not supposed to, but that 29, I'm trying to remember what car that looks like for me. The 29 of Silent Kings. I don't know. It looks familiar, but that car looks pretty nice, I will say.
I'm working my way back up to that 29 to go ahead and try to find him. Take a look for myself. Let's see, 29, huh? There it is. Oh yeah, Dale Jr.'s Daytona winning paint scheme has just about all the same colors. The Exalta on the hood. That's kind of what it does. What I think of it. But here we are back under green, going headstrong into turns 1 and 2. The 14 back up front. He's got a little bit of company, but behind them, they are too wide for 3 or 4 rows deep.
Definitely in the 3 of Dark Spartan. He pulled the power move on the high side earlier. Now he's going to look to try to dive it inside of the 14. A little bit of contact there for the lead. 3 wide now, 4 wide now for the lead. The 16 of Trip, 3 of Dark Spartan, 22 of Dodge Dakota, and the 14. All 4 wide here for the lead. A little bit of contact. These guys nearly 5 wide. 29 through the grass, 5 wide as we cross the stripe. 4 wide and all the top 7 and all. There it goes.
Yeah.
3 wide for the lead and 4 wide behind them, and it just caused mayhem.
Yeah, absolutely. You're not going to go 3 by 4 by 3 by 2 without some kind of contact and a couple people trying to shoot the hole. Well, that was nuts. Now on the straightaway, down first, going down the back stretch or going up the front stretch, yeah, okay, fine. But if they expected that to work going through the corner, I know a lot of these guys are really good. I've seen it work before, but there's just too much movement in those
give
lines.
Them props for trying it.
Oh man,
you got to give them props for that.
You know what? All these guys are saying there's no points, fellas. This is fun. It's all up to that last lap. You got to make sure that you got a car that's left for that last lap. You can't do things like that throughout the race. Man, these guys got to be lucky that this isn't iRacing. Here they got unlimited, fast repairs. They just got to go ahead and go down pit road. They bang it out, work it out, and that's what it is. But man, we are back under green. 22, that old double deuce is in the lead. 14 to his outside. These guys are absolutely keeping it entertaining. As Elevated just said, it's crazy out here.
Definitely, and these guys, like you mentioned, they have just thrown caution to the wind. The 22 having to block 2 lanes now. He's chosen to block that 16 of NNR Trip. We know how aggressive Trip has been in several different series, and he's going to prove it here right now as he pushes that 22 in the corner. 14 trying to make a run on the high side, but that double deuce still leading us here as he's going to come off of turn 4 across the stripe here and lead himself a lap. These guys are trying to set up to see if they can make a move for the lead, and like I just mentioned, 16 of NNR Trip, he's going to get inside the 22. Not sure if he's going to be able to clear him off the corner, but he set himself up in position as now we are side by side here for the lead as we head down the back straightaway.
Yes, side by side for lead. I was actually just riding along with the 5 of Fenris. 22 of old Dodge Dakota. We got Trippy to his outside. These guys have absolutely raced door to door before in a couple of different leagues, couple different communities. They've got the entire field in their back pocket, but now they both got a little bit of help behind and then a little bit of a gap back to P number 5. Going to try to sort it out amongst themselves. Less than 10 to go with stage number 2.
Definitely. Tripp's going to try to get that run off the corner here. Let's see if he can do it. He's going to be able to pull up in front of the 22, but he's not going to take the opportunity. He's going to pull that 9 car anyways. That was able to help push him out there to the lead. So you can see the help is definitely going to be a part of any driver's strategy here. Like I said, it's kind of like a restrictor plate. You got to have help to push yourself up to the lead, especially at a place like this. The draft is a phenomenal tool here at a place like Michigan. A lot of drivers have said you hit restrictor plate speeds here, but it drives just like an oval, kind of like Atlanta. You have the draft and the pushes that are going to be a huge part of a winning strategy here. And right now, Tripp understands that, able to pull that 9 car up there with him as they currently sit 1-2.
Yeah, sitting right now 1-2. That 9's got to be happy, got to be glad that he is where he is. I mentioned a little bit ago, it seemed like he was doing a couple 360s all the way down the infield and on the backstretch. What was it, 2-3 cautions ago? Now sitting P number 2. He's got the 14 behind him as well as a few other very, very bad fast cars. 16 in the lead, 9 in his back pocket. Here comes the 18 to assert himself inside the top 3.
And right now it looks like despite a few rows that are 2x2 in the back trying to race for a position, these guys have kind of calmed it down. They're starting to settle in and trying to get this race going here. So right now we may have hit a calm stretch in which these guys are all like all right, let's get through this stage and get ready for stage 3. These guys are trying several different things now, and after going 3x4, I think these guys have had enough crazy moments now for just a little bit, but you definitely do not want to miss out on stage 3. We've seen them go 4 or 5 wide. Imagine what stage 3 is going to be like.
Yeah, it's stage 3 when it's for all the marbles. $30 cash in somebody's pocket, whether they take it through a gift card, take it through PayPal, take it through Cash App. However, these guys are, they know that there's a little extra coin in it for them. Most of the time, it's just for points, working towards the season, working towards that championship. Everybody wants to say that they won a championship in some league or another. It always looks great whenever you're trying to get into another league and they say, okay, have you ever been kicked out of a league? Have you ever won a championship? Are you generally a top 5? Are you known to be clean? Tell us about yourself. Well, yeah, I won a championship in the OUTKAST Racing Series field of 20 some odd cars, give or take. They say, well, can you tell us, who's in that? When you start throwing out names like Dark Spartan and Trippy and a couple of these other guys that are known throughout the community for Heat 5, that the one and only Rock NASCAR really maintains very well. Man, it bodes well, very, very well for you. And actually, talking about Rock NASCAR, he's still out there in chat. I believe you got him as a special guest for your podcast this Friday night, don't you?
Yes, sir. Bull's returning to the podcast this week as well. It's going to be his first podcast in the United States, with him being stationed out in Korea. You mentioned him coming back to the U.S. for a few days or weeks. It's going to be his first podcast actually being in America. But like you mentioned, we have the owner of Shadow Racing League, Unforgotten Shadow, as well as our good friend Rock NASCAR. Both of them are going to be joining us on the podcast this week, and we have a huge announcement. I think you're actually going to be making it coming this Friday as well, so certainly a not want to miss episode for anyone in the community, and definitely going to be a big one. Very excited for it.
Yeah, as soon as I can find it, I've got the page, unless you want to go ahead and throw it out there for the podcast.
Let me see if I can.
Nope, I've got it right now. About 5:30, give or take, on Friday afternoon, the 29th. You're absolutely going to want to go ahead and click on this link. Make sure you give it a big old follow. Absolutely deserving. If you're a fan of any kind of sports, anything from wrestling to bocce ball, no, I'm just kidding. Any kind of big sport, you're going to want to make sure that you give it a follow. And just as we say that, now everybody following that Dale Jr. old looking Daytona 500 looking paint scheme, the 29 in the lead. First time he's lead. Here comes that double deuce of Dodge Dakota up the bottom, able to keep on the gas. Everybody now behind the 22, mixing it up a little bit behind him, side by side, 3 rows deep.
Definitely, what a power move by the double deuce to get out in front. The 4-car fell victim to a lot of 3-rod racing right there. It looks like he was the only one. Contact between the 16 and 18, the 21 tried to make it work. We are 4 wide, it looks like, for second. Actually, now these guys are going in. Oh, and here we go. We have a huge wreck, and you had to expect that. They were near 4-5 wide for second and for several rows deep, several cars wide. And it looks like a wreck that collected the 21, 29, not sure who else, but there was a lot of contact. I'm going to go ahead and say the 18 was a part of that as well. A lot of good cars caught up in that, and you got to imagine a caution might be getting called right here as they cross the stripe.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and race it back to the line, and this should actually be the end of the stage. I'm guessing they're going to go ahead and keep it green on this last lap. 22 of Dodge Dakota, way out there in the lead. He's got a pack of 4 right behind him. In fact, actually, I'm not sure if Dodge Dakota's in the lead or not. There's one car way up ahead of him. He might actually be trying to track him down to put him a lap down. Not going to have enough time to do that. I think we might be talking about Dodge Dakota joining the 14 as stage winners, getting ready to kick this off. Double deuce across the line.
Definitely able to win that stage. That's going to build momentum heading into stage number 3. And these guys got really wild coming to the end of this stage because, hey, start of stage 3. Track position is going to mean a lot to these guys and what they can do as far as their strategy. They can try their best to try to conserve as much as they can the closer they are to the. When you're in the back, you got to claw your way up there, and that's going to take a lot out of your car and a lot out of your tires. So it's going to be a chess match for these guys. One final stage to decide who gets the bragging rights of the OUTKAST All-Star Race winner and gets to go home with 30 extra bucks in their wallet. So definitely going to be a wild stage number 3. Let's get ready for it.
I tell you what, Dark Spartan just left a message in the chat saying trying to calm these guys down. Well, I'll tell you what, Spartan, good luck with that. This is off season for these guys. There's 30 bucks on the line now. You might have tried to calm them down in stage 1 or stage 2, but stage 3, when it's all out on the line, buddy, you might as well just say there's a big old wanted poster for this checkered flag, because 30 bucks is 30 bucks and someone's coming to claim it. As these guys get started, it looks like it's going to be the double deuce and the 16 on the front row. That's going to be Trippy and Dodge Dakota. 38 laps to determine a winner, and 30 bucks is on the line.
And it's wild enough to say, how many times have we seen those two side by side in today's race? And they're starting us out here in stage number 3. As right now, Dark Spartan, he says he's trying to calm these guys down, but he's about to heat it up all over the back bumper of that double deuce. He's trying to look to the inside here, going into turns 3 and 4. A little bit of contact there between him and the 22. Not enough to be able to get him right there to the inside. Now he's going to be able to get there side by side going down the front straightaway. As it looks like they're near 3 wide. They are. Dark Spartan, the 22 of Dodge Dakota, and the 16 of NR Trip 3 wide as we head now into turns 1 and 2. And like you mentioned, these guys, they're going after that wanted poster. They got a bounty to collect. Here we go. Dark Spartan going to try to clear Dodge off the corner. Crossover by Dodge as he's going to head under that number 3 machine. Now heading and getting ready to dive into turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, Double Deuce, he's been able to paint that bottom line and really stay in the throttle very, very strong. Able to do that one more time. Move Dodge Dakota to P1. 3 might be thinking about a crossover. He's got the 9. He's got the 14 back there. Just a little bit of a question here, expert. If the money was being put up, if this big old wanted poster was created by Dark Spartan, who pays him 30 bucks? Does somebody, do they collect it in the back, or what happened, or does he just get to keep his own money? That kind of defeats the whole purpose, doesn't it?
I don't know. I mean, it could be the tooth fairy. I don't know.
I tell you what, if that 30 bucks was his own money, man, I guess it's kind of a win, because if he wins, he gets to keep his own money. Doesn't have to pay it out. If somebody else wins, Dark Spartan's able to say, I put on one hell of an all-star show. I was able to get up in the lead, really challenge and show that, hey man, I belonged in that all-star race for one reason or another, as they're double wide for 1st through 4th. Double deuce of Dodge Dakota now sitting back in P5. Last lap, he was the leader. That's how quick times and things change around Michigan.
Definitely, like you mentioned, and we mentioned it multiple times about track position, how important it is and how quickly things can change in that regard. But, back to that question, I'm thinking about it, and, it may just be the delivery driver in me, but heck, I might order a pizza if I get to keep my 30 bucks. Like,
right?
you gotta have that celebratory. You gotta have the celebratory pizza.
You gotta have some kind of celebratory something. Absolutely. The 14 able to grab that lead back. He's got Dodge Dakota on that bottom line. He's got that's not the 3 now. Let's see who's he got right behind him. It's going to be the 9 of Backwood OUTKAST sitting right behind him. So the 14, he's led quite a few laps. The 22's been up there to challenge. So is the 3. So is the 16 of Trippy, as well as a few others. We've had about 5 or 6 guys able to really pull on up, grab the lead almost at will at times, unless there's been others to work their way around them. Just as I say, working their way around them, here comes the 9 of Backwood, down low, under the 14, 22 giving him a big old shot, side by side off of 4.
Definitely, and this is something we haven't seen previously. Two things I've noticed that we haven't seen so far up to this point in the race. The previous lap, the big move came from the outside. They were training up on the outside and was able to pretty much dominate the 2 cars that were on the inside. So the outside is starting to become a big factor here as well. And also, we have a separation of packs. We have 2 different packs now in which the separation has become key. So right now, these guys that are up front, they're looking to probably just push each other. Despite them battling, they're still looking to try to pull away as those separation of packs have formed. But it looks like that second pack might be able to catch them as these guys continue to aggressively battle side by side. Absolutely,
side by side, 3 rows deep. Now the 9 of back with OUTKAST securely grabbing the top spot with a little bit of an occasional challenge on the by the 14 on the outside. Back Dodge Dakota looks like he's pretty comfortable just pushing the 9 at will anywhere around this track. Cape out there in chat saying, "What's up, Cape? What's going on, man? Good to see you."
Definitely, these guys going crazy right now. The 9 was able to go up and block that high line, and that's what I was mentioning before. You see these guys actually moving up to the high line. Usually you see guys, hey, I'm gonna dip down to the bottom. Guys have been moving up to the high line to try to keep this momentum going, and you can see how well it's worked for guys like the 14 as he moves into P2. But right now the 18 looking to try to take that position, as right now he's getting the momentum on the high side, and you can see the 9 going back up there to block. So that high side is really proven to be a threat right now as these guys try to make their way up through the field.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to depose the 9. 9 and the 18 got a little bit of contact there. 18 smacked the outside wall, but was pretty much able to save it. Now the 14 all the way up high. 9's going to try to go on down low again this time. A little bit of a side draft there. Pull the 14 back, getting into turn 1 and 2. And what do you know? Just as we're talking about that 22. Old J-Pop from the NNR Cup Series, as well as the admin for the NNR Xfinity Series, dropping into chat and dropping about, what is that? Oh, about 10 in there.
10 bits.
Yeah, about 10 bits in there. J-Pop, buddy, thank you very much. Good to see you, man. It's going to be a wild race at Indy this week, sir.
Right now, he said, "I don't know who you are, but let's go 22." Well, it's everybody's favorite Dodge Dakota right here, sitting in the 22, hoping to make it proud for you probably. As right now you can see he's chilling just in 3rd place right now. He's had his moments in the spotlight when he was able to get out to the lead right now, but just holding his own, waiting for the right time to strike, I assume, as they nearly get 3 wide down the back straightaway. Dark Spartan backs out of it, but right now you can see the conga lines that have formed as these guys are looking to try to push each other up to the front. These guys are getting wild by the second, or getting wilder by the second, as these guys are all stacking up. They're trying to push. It looks like Talladega out here.
It does look like Talladega, and the more time these guys spend running side by side, that's going to allow time for the guys that are in that second pack you talked about just a little bit ago to really start pulling themselves up. Next time by, it's going to be 25 laps remaining. 25 laps remaining in this All-Star race for OUTKAST Racing, and man, that 9 looks very, very comfortable. The 22 of Dodge Dakota sitting right there. A little bit of contact every now and then by the occasional block, but pretty much able to hang on to it. No real damage, but around a place like this, Expert, any damage to that right front has got to be detrimental to your overall alone speed. Not necessarily in the draft, but man, if you get left behind, you're done.
Definitely, and you're talking about all these factors that are coming into the draft so far in this race. Let's talk about another factor we haven't seen so far this race. These guys have gone long enough that we're in long run phase right now, to where these guys are going to have stuff happening to their cars that we haven't seen yet, whether they're getting loose, whether they get tight, whatever the reaction that their cars give to this long run is going to be detrimental or be vital to whatever they can do later in this run and later in this race. This could really decide who wins today, is how these cars handle on the long run, because we haven't seen it yet. These drivers haven't experienced it yet. So it's going to be interesting to see. As you can see, the 22 in Dodge Dakota, he's losing a lot of spots right now, getting past high and low. He was in second just a corner ago, now all the way back in fifth, trying to battle his way back into fourth.
Yeah, I'm trying to battle back. The 16 a Trip went on down low and was able to pass him, but then made a little bit of contact with that white line as the 22's kicking up all kinds of a cloud of mud, and he's going to lose a few more spots trying to get down on that apron. I'm guessing just maybe a little bit of oversteer, maybe got a little loose, had a couple tires up on the track, had a couple tires on the apron. He must be on the ragged edge in that 22 if that's the way that the car reacted. But still, that 9 up front, he's got a line of cars rather than a double wide pack that he's got to protect against. As just as we say that, looks like the 14, he's going to go ahead and try it one more time to get on by at the line. It's going to be the 14 OUTKAST to the outside.
And right now, you know, we talked about that move that the 22 just made through the grass. You know, that had to have made Dan the lawn man proud. That's all I'm going to say on that. But right now, these guys they've kind of separated. We talked about how this long run may affect these guys. They're not all up on each other pushing like they were just a few laps ago. These guys have separated. There's a lot of space in between these guys' cars into where they are now just single file. They realize all this pushing and battling has really caused this long run to come quicker than expected. So these guys are experiencing a lot of changes with these cars, and being side by side is probably not the best thing when you don't know if you're going to be tight or loose. So these guys are going to have to give each other a lot of leeway here down the stretch. But with probably around under 20 to go or near that, as the 9 goes around, and there we go, talking about being loose. There's the wreck right there from the inexperience of the long run, and a lot of cars around and a lot of cars involved in a wreck right here, and that's going to be a caution.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not what the 14 wanted to see. Saw the 3 of Dark Spartan go around as well. I might have got to him after he got tagged, but something happened all the way in the back. Yeah, one more caution out. As these guys get ready to go back green, I'll go ahead and get a lap count. For now, though, we're going to take a quick little break. We'll be right back.
That's going well so far.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Definitely appreciate everybody that's still out there. This is the uncut coverage that y'all get anytime you subscribe to the channel. Again, thank you very much for your continued support. Got about 5 seconds left before these guys come back and join us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sincerely, thank you. All right, Expert, these guys are all racked and stacked back up one more time. The 14 of J-Rock and the 18 on the front row, and as they came across the line, 18 laps remaining in this OUTKAST Racing Series All-Star Race live from Michigan. 14's going to take the lead in the 1 and 2.
And definitely in our Trip, he's sitting right there. He's battling for second with the 18 here, trying to find a way to get back in line. There he goes. He's going to settle into third here. But don't be surprised to see him make some moves. We've seen a good battle between him and that 14 that's currently in the lead. The 18 has been up there time and time again, just really hasn't caught the lead yet. This could be the opportunity as the 16 tags the wall. He's going to lose some momentum, but the 18 all over the back bumper of that 14. And he's looking to make his mark in this race. He's looking to lead his first laps if he can make the move around the 14.
Yeah, riding on right now with Max Snipes all over the back end of that number 14 Patriotic Scheme. He's got the 4 car just behind him. That's the first time I believe we talked about the 4 car or seen the 4 car up inside the top 3 or top 5. Looking pretty stout so far, trying to draw a bead on the back end of that 18 Camry. First and second continue to push. 18 almost tagging the wall. 14 looking back at his rear view. Not sure if he's just blocking the line or trying to keep with the 18, see where he's going. But right now, first and second, absolutely all about that tandem draft.
Definitely, and right now they finally broke it off. The 14 committed to the high side. I think the 18 drove him in a little too deep, pushed him into where he forced him to commit, but he took the bottom to try to get hooked back up with him instead. So right here, you can see these guys trying to pull away. One mistake like that, and here we go. The pack's trying to catch him once again as the 29's now going to move into third place and try to see if he can make his way up here to battle on in amongst these top two.
Yeah, 29 right now. Again, that's the Silent Kings rocking out in P number 3, all the way up against that outside wall, going down the front stretch, drawing a bead closer and closer to the 18. He's got a couple cars behind him, but he's on the outside, so wasn't really getting a push right there. So I think this 29, the Silent King, has got one hell of a machine under him. If he can get to the front, just like Dale Jr. did in this somewhat similar paint scheme at Daytona in 2014, we might be talking about a 29 in victory lane. So far, it's been all the 14, the 9, the 3, and a couple of others as the 14 comes on down the block. Silent Kings.
Definitely, and Silent Kings trying to give him a tap there to open up the door. He touches the apron. He's going to come up, make contact with the 18. 9's going to make it 3 wide here as we exit, and that's the best view for that 14 to see these guys battling it out behind him as he tries to pull away right now. But you mentioned the Dale Jr. scheme and how that might provide him some luck. You know, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Michigan was the place of Dale Jr.'s last victory.
It's either Michigan or I think it might have been Martinsville, if I'm not mistaken. One or the two. I've seen him win at both tracks, but I gotta say his most energetic or the happiest he'd ever been was after he won Martinsville in a paint scheme very similar to that. Got his first grandfather clock, and I just remember when the news was there, they covered it, and he's jumping up and down and partying on the stage, and man, it was phenomenal. Just as we talk about the difference between Michigan or possibly Martinsville, Commando Griff saying no, it was Phoenix. So we're both kind of off on the opposite side of the country.
Going back and forth.
Yep. So talk about going back and forth. 29 finds himself back there in P number 5. That 18 we were talking about, he's a sole car on the bottom line, and it looks like everybody's going to kind of conga as they go back and forth. As my buddy HD Motorsports would say, it looks like some windshield wipers out here, back and forth, side to side for P number 1.
Definitely, and you can see a lot of guys making their names known back up here. The 9 of Backwood, he's going to be out there on the inside line. The 22 of Dodge Dakota, he's reintroducing himself as he's going to push in our trip, keeping that pressure with the inside line. And that 29, 18, and 14, of course, the usual suspects out there on the outside. These guys are going crazy trying to set themselves up for position here as we head down the stretch and wind down the laps here in the All-Star event here for the OUTKAST Racing League.
Yeah, 22 is going to go ahead and dive on down, leaving the 16 of Trippy to his outside. 18 now back up in P3. 14 and 9 side by side off the corner. Less than 10 laps to go.
Yeah, as we come across the stripe, I think it's going to be exactly 10 laps to go right here. Now, of course, less than that, about 9 3/4 as we head to the exit of turn number 2. These guys still 2x2 down the back straightaway. The 14, the odd man left out there as he leads this pack. He's going to pull those guys on the high side. The 18 looking to make a move possibly to go to the inside. 14 able to block it. And these guys still battling out for a position here all over the place here as now the top 2 has been able to separate themselves from the 2x2 pack. And here we go. Trippy going to do the same thing. The top 3 now separated. This high line is the place you want to be. Trippy going to drop to the bottom, trying to get to the inside of the 18 with a possible slide job. Don't know if it's going to work. The 18 looks to have the run off the corner. Oh, a little contact right there. The 18 in the wall as the 16 tried to clear himself. It wasn't the best block, but he was able to get the job done, set himself up in position now in P2. But Dodge Dakota and that Double Deuce says not so fast. He's going to dive it down below him, and he's going to set a challenge for P number 2 as the 14 of J-Rock just looks to hold that lead as we wind down the laps here. I believe it is now 9 to go here in Michigan.
Yeah,
8 to go.
Yep, you got that right. 16 of Trippy. He's got to go ahead and try that slide job. 14 of J-Rock. Big old tap to the back bumper. Here comes the 9 of OUTKAST all the way on the bottom, taking that momentum. He's got the double deuce in his back pocket. 16 of Trippy. Nobody there to give him a shove. A little bit of a shot to the inside. No harm, no foul. Back in the pack, though. Caution's out.
Yeah, that was a huge wreck made by contact off of that 3 wide. Took out a lot of good drivers, and it's going to be a question now. We're within 10 laps. We saw what happened in the previous stage with guys pitting around this many laps to go. I think it's no question you have to pit right here. If anybody stays out, I'll be surprised.
It's going to be interesting. When the caution came out, there were 8 laps remaining. As they come across, you figure we're going to be looking at about 5, maybe 6. It's gonna be, man. This is gonna be crazy. We've had the onboard with old A.O. Fenris for the entire night. Fenris, thank you very much for allowing us to keep up with everything you've seen through your windshield coming across the line. One more time, rack and stack. You can imagine we're gonna see a lot of contact. 5 laps to go here. Expert, take a screen.
Definitely, and these guys, this is going to be the make or break moment. 5 laps to go. You got to start setting yourself up for those final few laps. I say 3 to go is when you really need to set yourself up to be in the lead right now. Going over the lead, we have Backwood and Trippy side by side. They're battling it out. Dodge Dakota in that usual spot, sitting in third, waiting to close in on his moment as he looks to try to give a shove to the 16. He's going to make his way to the inside of that number 9 of Backwood as he pushes the 16 of Trippy out to the front, and he's going to try to get up there into P number 2. 4 to go this time by. A little bit of contact between him and the 9, and you can see these guys, we thought they were aggressive before. They're going to get even more aggressive now. The 9's going to try to pull on the high side and expect the high side to be the place you want to be, especially to try to get a run on that 16. The 16 pulling the 9. Now he's going to drop down and pull the 22. He's trying his best to keep them side by side. A great strategy there by NNR Trippy. The 18 coming to the 8 of the 22 on that inside line. The 9 pretty much left to dry. His only help is the leader right now, as the 22 might be able to get clear of the 9 here. He's got to push from the 18, in which he does so. The 16 is going to have to come down and block. And right now,
that was a mistake
for him to block. The 22 goes.
Yep, that was a mistake when he left that bottom line and left the door open for the 22 of Dodge Dakota. Dakota had some help in the form of the 18 right behind him. Now up along the wall, it always seems like the line on the wall moves the best, moves the fastest, but this time the 16 had no momentum, so nothing doing on the high side. 22 of Dodge Dakota down low, down fast. 4 cars now right behind him going back to the 5. We might be talking to the 22 when this is all said and done, but I don't know if we're done with cautions yet. 2 laps remaining. 22 trying to hold him off.
Definitely, and this might be a spot where he can't hold him off. He touched the apron. That's going to cost him a lot of momentum down the back straightaway. And when I say that, you can see the 18 all over the back bumper. A bad block there. That's going to stack him up behind him. But the 5 coming to the outside of Fenris. Fenris trying to make a move here for the lead as we're going to be coming here off of turn 4. We're going to hit the white flag this time by. These guys side by side for the lead. Who's going to have the help? That's what it's going to come down to. 1 car in the grass is going to be the 16 of NNR Trippy. But right here, we've hit the white flag. Only the caution or the checkered can end it. A block right there, the 18, 22, and the 5 side by side. The 18's going to make room, and they're going to be 4 wide for second here. These guys getting even more aggressive. Now guys like the 18 and the 21 are going to be battling out here for the lead, as the 21's got to make a move. The 18 trying to block as low as he can. Not sure how that's going to work for him. The 4 out of nowhere, he's going to make his move to the outside. Contact though, and the caution is out. I believe the 18 on the final and only lap he has led this race is going to win the OUTKAST All-Star Race event and score $30 into his pocket.
Absolutely great job by him. And then it looks like it's going to be ORL Gommel. I'm not quite sure who.
Oh, that was the 4. Out of nowhere, the 4 took the win.
Yeah, something. I'm not sure if there was a lag or what happened, but it showed me the results. It's going to be ORL Gama with the yeah. We'll have to see exactly what happens or what happened, but we're going to go ahead and allow those guys as we back out of this to get settled, get into team comms, and come on over to the booth and try to settle. We all just saw the 18 come across the line to score the victory, but the game gave it to somebody else. So we'll have to talk to the admin, see exactly what's going to go, what's going to stay. Ladies and gents, we will be right back. Please don't go anywhere. It's just, man, how can you leave it just a hanging, right? We'll be right back. All right, guys, so we are back. Definitely big thank you for keeping it right here. As you saw, one hell of a finish to wrap up the OUTKAST Racing League All-Star Race from Michigan. And yeah, the caution had actually come out just before we saw that driver cross the line. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up. I'm sorry. Sorry, expert. Go right ahead.
Right here, going to be with ORL Elevated. He's going to be our third place finisher. Man, you were able to get up there towards the end and try to make a move possibly for that win. We saw how the blocking was and how everybody was racing in 1 and 2 and down into 3 and 4. When that did you think you had a chance to possibly go out there for the win off of turn 4 if the caution hadn't come out, or what was your strategy heading into that final lap?
Going into the final corner, I tried to give him a little bump, but he held the brakes and it killed my run. But I was going to try to back it up a little bit and get a run off, but caution came out, so I really couldn't do anything.
Definitely, and I mean, you were back and forth throughout the field. I guess, I mean, of course, it'd be better to be in the victory lane right now and getting 30 extra bucks in your pocket. But, I mean, you can't be too upset after having an up and down day, being able to get back to the front and be able to score a podium position in the top 3. Of course, this being a non-points race, how do you look to carry this momentum coming from the All-Star Racing heading into Pocono for the next race?
Yeah, throughout the race, I was in a lot of wrecks. I managed to get up there at the end, but hopefully I can take the momentum and get my third win of the season next week at Pocono.
Definitely. Well, overall, good job, man. Great racing, and yeah, definitely good luck heading into next week at Pocono. I know a lot of guys really don't like that track, so I'm gonna just go ahead and say, definitely you might not need it. You got the confidence definitely to be able to go out there and win, but definitely good luck anyways, man.
Yep, thank you.
All right. Elevated, before you go, man, normally I ask this of everybody during post race. Any shout outs for you, man? Anybody out there you want to say a thank to for maybe for some extra setup help, or any shout outs at all for you?
I I'll give a shout out to Silent. I gave him my setup for my wheel, and he's been running pretty good on it. So hopefully he can get his first win of the season next week, maybe.
There you go. All right, so man, from me as well, congratulations on a great finish. There are a lot of cars all over the place tonight, able to be the right place, the right time. And we're going to move on over to our $30 winner, P number one. When it all came, when all the chips fell, Gommel, it's repeat. You got me, buddy.
Yeah, how you guys doing today?
We are all right. Question is, man, how are you? Where did you come from? And congratulations.
Thank you. Honestly, I felt like I had a fast car the whole time. I was able to take the runs and be patient enough to find my way to the front consistently. Unfortunately, I got into a few problems, losing myself, driver error. And I said, once this race come into that long run and I can see the runs and the patience I was getting, I thought I had a shot. And when I seen them coming out of turn 4 and they were all bobbling up, I took it and I forced it 4 wide, and I didn't make any contact. And looking at the line, I give it to Bailey because if it was a race to the line, he would have beat me. Max Snipes had a very fast car. In the last few weeks, I've been racing him hard and he's been racing me hard. Very clean racing, very good racer. So I'd like to give a shout out to him, but unfortunately, I don't like to win like this, but unfortunately it is what it is, and I'm glad I could win. Unfortunately not that best of a season for me, but this race brings it out that I can still be a strong competitor, and it's always lovely winning at the home track.
Well, a home track for you. Rock NASCAR out there asking who won. Gommel, if you would. What is your full gamer tag? That way Rock NASCAR can go ahead and shout you out all over the Heat 5 community page.
It is ORL Gommel 247.
So ORL and then GOML, right?
Yes.
247? All right. Rock NASCAR, there you go, sir. ORL Gommel 247. OUTKAST Racing League All-Star Race winner, $30 richer in his pocket. Man, one hell of a show. Congratulations. Just the same as Expert just asked of Elevated. What is your outlook now going into Pocono after getting it done here in Michigan?
Yeah, well, first I want to add to Rock messaging that all of these guys that are in this league should get a shout out. These are some of the best racers, definitely on NASCAR. Clean, nice, and courtesy. They're just some of the best experience I've ever had. So honestly, a shout out to all these guys would just be great. Not just me. Because I had one good race. J-Rock, my teammates, had a fantastic year and deserves a great shout out as well because he's been helping me throughout these weeks. But looking forward, like I said, I'm hoping that people or other racers can see I'm a force to be competitive with, and I'm super thankful. You are not going to believe how long I waited for an interview like this.
Hey man, I've been there. I think if you've been around any of I go back to NASCAR 07. The first time I got online was NASCAR 09. So I remember my first time up in a booth getting to talk to there were when the interview started, there were 17 people out there watching and listening, and I'm sure they all, just expressed their congratulations. Good job getting it done. I'm sure Dark Spartan or OUTKAST will be getting a hold of you to figure out how they're going to get that $30 over to you. Any shout outs for you, sir?
I'd like to thank my local grocery store because that's where I'm going to be buying the Busch Lights to celebrate tonight's win for sure.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Spartan, we're going to go ahead and grab you, buddy. Spartan, you and OUTKAST put on one hell of a show tonight. You said when we started stage 3, you were going to go ahead, or you were trying to get these guys calmed down. Buddy, that's the wrong time to try to calm them down. Stage 1 and stage 2 were awesome. Stage 3, you set them free, and it actually happened to be our least amount of cautions, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Buddy, congratulations on a great all-star race. Thank you very much for asking me to come out and put it out there for all your OUTKAST fans. It's one hell of a stream, one hell of a race. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're very welcome, Pete. Thank you for you and Expert for coming in and doing this tonight for us. We appreciate everybody that comes out and watches and gives you the support. Yeah, we were trying to calm them down a little bit there. Everyone was driving a little bit aggressive going into the last stage, and gave the guys a talk, calmed them down a little bit, and unfortunately we got a little pushy there at the end and had to end under caution. But it happens like that. Every race can't be perfect. So,
well, man, big props to you. Congratulations. Putting $30 of your own hard-earned greenbacks on the line for a winner. We were Expert and I were kind of throwing that whole wanted poster analogy, except they wanted their name on that wanted poster. Great race, great event. Congratulations and good luck in the rest of the season, Spartan.
Appreciate it, Repeat, and good luck to you guys in your broadcasting.
Expert, one hell of a race. What do you think about wrapping this all up, man?
Well, I mean, overall, like you mentioned, it was a great race. Definitely thank you to you for allowing me to come out here and work with you in the booth. Always a fun time getting to work with you, man. Thanks for the support that, of course, the community gives both of us, and how you've been able to set me up for success. It's been a real honor to be able to work with you over the past few months and to continue this going forward. Special thanks to Dark, especially with him bringing us in tonight. It was a lot of fun to be able to commentate this one. Also, still sending out thoughts and prayers to Vols fan and Mama Vols out there and all their family with what they're going to. Still sending all of our love and support out to them. Can't wait to see you in a few days on coming around this Friday whenever you're on the podcast, Vols. Can't wait for it. But yeah, definitely a fun one, Pete, and can't wait to do it again.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, that is gonna wrap it up for me. Glad to have y'all come out. I tell you, it's pretty cool. All right, just a little bit of information, a little bit of knowledge. All right, little props. We'll even put it that way. I was talking to Expert and OUTKAST and Spartan about who else was streaming tonight, carrying on between Heat 5 and iRacing. Rick James in Atlanta were both out there broadcasting for the different platforms. Y'all, the viewers, you did them one better. We were actually the highest broadcasted stream for this time frame because of you guys out there. OUTKAST and his group and Spartan and everybody, they put on one hell of a show. Y'all chose to tune in over here, so thank you very much. But big congratulations to Gama one more time. I will see you tomorrow night with the one and only Lucky Dog and Rick James in this same booth for the NNR Truck Series right around 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Please, you're not going to want to miss that. Wednesday with the Xfinity Series, and of course Thursday night right around 8:30 all times Eastern with the NNR Cup, guys. Thanks once again for coming out, hanging out, chatting it up, keeping it right here. Papa Bear, thank you for the bits. J-Pa, thank you for the bits. And anybody else, I appreciate you. I will see y'all again tomorrow night. Until then, please, again, remember, wear your mask, or as from what I hear, masks now. Stay away from those big old crowds. We all want to get this COVID crap under control so we can get back to a track as soon as possible.